Hello everybody, my name is David Elder. I'm Director of the Office of Regional Operations, and I'm here with you today to introduce a new series of outbreak response field guides that we are posting on the internet for all of our field staff to use and all of our regulatory partners to use. Now, one thing that we all know is that the number of foodborne outbreaks has been increasing over the years. It's due to a couple of factors. One, there are still some food safety issues out there, and two, our ability to detect them has improved. Of course, what we would rather do is prevent the foodborne outbreaks from occurring in the first place. And actually, there are a number of plans underway to do just that. We are very interested in supporting the preventative controls. We want to have a very strong enforcement and inspection program. We want there to be corporate accountability, and certainly we expect firms to have detailed knowledge of their supply chain to assure the safety of the products that are coming in. But even though we know that we can't prevent every foodborne outbreak, when we are faced with a foodborne outbreak, what we want to do is to improve our response activities. Now, our response needs to be prompt. We need to investigate thoroughly, we need to document the findings and collect the evidence, and we really need to control the hazard that is endangering the public. So we want to make sure that the risk is controlled, and then of course that the firm prevents this type of issue from occurring again. Now, these new field guides are intended to provide us with the best practices that we've learned over the years about how to respond to different type of outbreak situations. They are going to be hazard and product specific. So what do I mean by that? Well, the way we do an outbreak response related to, say, E. coli in leafy greens is going to be different than the way we do an outbreak response related to salmonella in peanut butter. So what we want to do is to take those best practices, the best science and regulatory approaches, and come up with a harmonized way of doing outbreak response that is specific to the product and specific to the hazard of interest. When they are completed, they'll be posted on the internet so that FDA investigators will have ready access, as well as our state regulatory partners. There's also going to be a feedback form associated with the guides because we want them to continue to represent best practices, and if our stakeholders find some better ways of doing things, if the science or the regulatory approaches change, we want to make sure that we're nimble enough to change these field guides as needed. Now, I would like to thank a number of people involved in especially preparing this first field guide. The framework for this field guide did start with an effort by the California Food Emergency Response Team, as well as the response work group associated with the 50-state Partnership for Food Protection. And then a number of people in ORA and the Center for Food Safety worked to further refine it and get it into the product that it is today. So we think these guides are going to be a great thing. We look forward to your use of them, and we look forward to taking advantage of our improving the outbreak response activities that ourselves and our state partners do. If we're doing it well in the same way, we can readily rely on each other's work. Thanks very much.